Hello, beautiful people. Tash here. I'll just make sure that we're live. We are. Hello, welcome to Tuesday. Today I wanted to come and just give a little bit of give a powerful training around the chakra system, around visibility, around taking action, and around procrastination and resistance. So I hope you're all going well. I'm excited to be with you guys today. Stick around. If you guys have any questions along the way, please feel free to pop them in the comment box. Let me know as we're going through this process as well what's coming up for you. Like I've said in the comments above, the more vocal you are with me, the more I'll be able to really, tailor this process for you. So I just wanted to give you a bit of an insight into some of the particular processes that I use with my clients. And especially when we're talking about resistance or procrastination or sabotage, or there's so many different words that we can use. It's essentially, we all know what it's like, right? And it comes up all the time in business because we are on the front line, we are working for ourselves, and everything relies, it kind of all falls on our shoulders. So what is your unique brand of resistance? That's going to really help us today to kind of guide you through this process. And it's something that I really encourage you to have a think about. So I call this your unique brand of resistance. What are the things that you do specifically when you go into resistance, when you go into sabotage, when you go into self-doubt, procrastination? What are the specific actions that you take? For me, I often get into overwhelm. I will do very busy work, but not actually do work that's leading to, new clients, content creation, money coming in, not money-making activities. I'll spend my time really doing, activities that make me feel really busy. But then when I get to the end of the day, I'll be like, what have I achieved today? And I know that's one of my triggers when I'm in resistance, because it's like distracting myself, right, from the important things, the things that are going to bring in money. So how does this all tie in with the chakra system, the beautiful chakra system? If you know me well, you know how much I love and adore working with the chakra system, because this is, especially the lower four chakras, this is where our personal power is stored. So if you're finding that you are cycling in resistance, in sabotage, self-sabotage, in self-doubt, in criticism, in procrastination, there's so many different things that we can do when we're in resistance. It can be really helpful to look at the chakra system and to look at what's going on in particular in those lower three chakras. So essentially, I'm going to talk about a few different things. We're going to do some tapping, and hopefully this is going to make a lot of sense to you. So if you're the type of person who, when they go into resistance, you start spinning your wheels, you start operating only in your head, you start overthinking, overanalyzing, you might even go into negative self-talk, you might go into shutdown of your body. Essentially what's happening is you're leaving the grounded energetics of your base chakra and you're flooding up into the upper regions, the intellect. We can spend a lot of time up here. A lot of people, especially in Western society, are very disconnected from their body. So we exist up in our heads. It's like energetically, we're just a head floating around, and there's no connection to the body. And what happens is, because the grounded energy of our base chakra has essentially left the base chakra, hi Darlene, welcome, and it's flooded up to the upper regions, up into the upper 2 to 3 chakras. What's happening is we are cycling in our head, right? And when we cycle in our head, we often have a lot of anxious energy. There's often a lot of hypervigilance. There's a lot going on that keeps us far away from grounded, action-taking, practical, realistic, powerful action, right? So that might be one way that you cycle into resistance. You flood your body, you leave your body, and you flood up into your head. So let me know if this is you, if you're resonating with that. So what's happening there is essentially the grounded energy of the base chakra has kind of left and gone all the way up. So we need to really work on bringing you right back down into your body, okay? So that's from the first chakra perspective, how procrastination, overthinking, overanalyzing, anxiety, panic attack energy, hypervigilance, all directly related to the energy leaving the first chakra. So there's so much we can do with bringing you back into your body, bringing you, tapping is an excellent way, grounding, feet flat on the floor, flat in the earth, so many different things. So that's the base, the first chakra. Then the second area to look at is the third chakra. So this is our power center, the sacral, the solar plexus. Hi, Kel. This is our power chakra. So when we have a really balanced third chakra, we're taking action. We are feeling the fear, but we are being courageous and we're doing it anyway. It's not stopping us. We are standing in our self-esteem. We are standing in our personal power. We are not getting in our own way. We are taking action. We are feeling empowered and we are striding forward from this space of uniqueness. We're happy to share our story, to share ourselves uniquely, because in the third chakra, this is where we stand in how unique we are. We are a unique miracle. There is no one that thinks and feels and lives like me. And so when I have a really healthy and balanced third chakra, I don't struggle to show up and share my story. And I don't have any issues with being vulnerable or being, open about who I am. I take action from this place. So when there's imbalance going on here, what happens is the opposite to that, right? We struggle to get into action. We struggle with sharing our story. We feel it's very difficult for us to be visible. We find it actually very threatening. We find it threatening to show up, to do lives on Facebook, to share our story, to talk about our business. And often because what's happening here is that the third chakra, there's a lot of stuff from the past that's stored here. So if when you were a child, you wanted to be unique, you showed up in a way to your parents that was, it was like, look at me, look at how amazing I am, look at how unique I am. Maybe you were, I don't know, there's so many instances that could happen. You wanted to perform something, you wanted to show up and be uniquely you, and you got shut down for that. You were told to, not be so bright, essentially. You were taught to dim your light. You were taught to energetically retract, because showing up and being you uniquely was not okay. And there's so many people out there who've experienced this in childhood. That contracts the solar plexus chakra right down. So unconsciously, energetically, we learn, if I'm going to show up and be me, if I'm going to show up and take action uniquely me, I'm going to get criticized. I'm going to get judged. I'm going to get taken down. And this instills in us these patterns around dimming our light, around fear of being visible, around, not sharing our story, not wanting to be exposed. And this is the thing at the solar plexus. It's all about fear of exposure. Okay, so if you have visibility issues, if you have fears around going live, around being active on Facebook, this all comes down in many cases to solar plexus, fear of exposure, fear of visibility. It's not safe to be visible. It's literally not safe in my nervous system, and it's not safe unconsciously, and it's not safe in my solar plexus, which is where I take action. So if there's anything going on here, what happens? We stop taking action. We start hiding. We start, all of those things that we know we need to do to build our business that often maybe coaches are telling you to do, like market your business and double your prices, or all of these things that we often get guidance around. If you're finding that you're not taking action on them, even though you know that these are the things that you need to do, then it's a third chakra issue, and there's some form of fear of exposure going on. Fear of exposure. It's not safe to be seen. It's not safe to share my story. So much can happen here, okay? So when we're talking about procrastination, we've already covered the first chakra. Pattern of procrastination is to flood your body and to live only up in the upper regions of the brain, of the head, of the intellect. We become highly intellectual, but we're not grounded in our body, okay? And there's so many very intelligent, high-achieving people out there who are living in their head and they're completely disconnected from their body, okay? So that's a first chakra block around procrastination or resistance. The third chakra that we've just been talking about is where we have fear around not being visible, not being seen, not safe to be seen, not taking action, hiding, not sharing our story. And often, as I mentioned, it comes back to an event or events that happened in the past when our beautiful parents, God bless them, just recreating intergenerational patterns shut us down for being unique, for being, for shining, essentially. So let me know, what are you resonating with here? All right, we're going to do some tapping soon, but for this to be the most effective, I'd love to hear what's your unique brand of resistance? So what are the things that you do when you go into resistance? And the more you can identify this, you know exactly what your patterns are, the more they'll start to give you warning signs so that you don't cycle into a full bout of resistance, which in the past has taken me months to get out of. I don't know about you. We've got to understand how our system works, how our wiring works, how our energetics work. And when we know this, when we can see what's happening, we're far more equipped and able to take action to see the warning signs, so to speak. So third chakra, fear of exposure. Okay, so we've become quite hypervigilant. Everything is a threat. And especially if there's been any trauma that you've experienced, physical, emotional, sexual, we live in hypervigilance where suddenly, the whole world is unsafe because we are afraid that we're going to be exposed. We're afraid, and it's interesting, it was a few months ago, I had a number of sessions with different clients where this fear of annihilation was coming through thick and strong for all of these different women. They were like, it was this deep-seated, irrational fear of, if I put myself out there, I'm going to be annihilated. I'm going to be killed. I'm going to be taken down. I'm going to be exposed. And I did a beautiful retreat on the weekend. We did a lot of past life journeying, and how many of us have probably, whether it's in our cellular DNA, ancestral DNA, or whether we've had past life, unconscious memories, have been burned at the stake for being us, for shining in our natural gifts. 9 million women burned during the burning times. That's the biggest genocide ever. I didn't know that. 9 million women. Anyway, that's an aside. So let me know, guys, if you're watching, if you're wanting to take part, I'd love to hear, what is your unique brand of resistance? When you cycle into resistance, into sabotage, into self-doubt, whatever it is, what do you do specifically, okay? So this is what's happening at an energetic level. Essentially, we're collapsing our power centers, or our power center, really, which, they're all power centers, but the solar plexus is where we take action. It's where we shine forth. It's where we shine, essentially. So if it's not safe for us to shine, for whatever reason, for me, there was a lot of bullying in primary school. I was very tall, big, bright red hair, big boobs, and I got bullied for that. And so I learned to dim my light, to shine, to shrink, to protect. And so when I went into business, all of this stuff was being triggered, because what do we have to do in business, right? We have to show up, we have to put ourselves out there, we have to shine. We don't have to shine, but it's far easier if we know, and if it's safe for us to shine, to show up in all of our glory. It's so much easier. People can feel us, and they're magnetically attracted to us when we're able to do this. But in order to get to that point, we have to notice what's happening at an energetic level. Let me check my notes, one sec. So procrastination, what do you do? What do you do when you're procrastinating? I'd love to hear who's going to be the first. Do you zone out of your body? Do you disconnect? Do you jump into your head? Do you, zoning out can also look like, I'm going to have a few ciders at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I'm avoiding doing the things that I know I need to do. Do you focus on busy work, not necessarily essential money-making activities, but the work that, keeps you busy? Scroll social media, yes, the procrastinate-scrolling. All of these different things, we need to know what is our unique brand of resistance, so that we can start to put systems in place that's going to help us to catch it before it floods out of control. Okay, when we can do this, we become very powerful because we know exactly what our patterns are, what our habits are. So let me just have a quick look here. So it's important as well to talk about, when we're talking about procrastination, there's a couple of different types. I'm not talking today about the rebellious form of procrastination. That's another conversation, and that's a very important one to have, and we will have that, the rebellious procrastination, because rebellion, it's like self-betrayal when we slide into self-rebellion. We are at war with ourselves, essentially, on an energetic level. But the spinning mind state, the not showing up and being visible, fearing putting ourselves out there, very much first and third chakra. Anyone else want to comment with how you guys go into procrastination? So what is it that you do to get yourselves feeling really unstoppable, right? To get yourselves feeling really excited to take action, empowered. It's like you can feel the fear, but you're going to do it anyway. And this is what I'm so passionate about helping my clients to learn, is learn how to take action in the face of their fear. It comes back to courage. Yeah, this is the most important skill and quality to cultivate, I believe, in business, is courage. Dania, definitely hiding. Okay, third chakra. Beautiful. So much. When you know that, there's so much that can be done then. Okay, so hiding is a third chakra issue. So then, you know, what was mum and dad like? What was your, you know, childhood memories around showing up and being seen? Were there any instances that happened where you were shut down for that? And it can often be, you know, we can have big T trauma and little T trauma, right? Big T trauma is obvious. It's like I was sexually abused, or I was assaulted, or I was verbally assaulted. Little T trauma are the things that we don't necessarily realize were traumatic, but to our little girl, to our inner child, they very much were. And so when we're showing up in our business, when we're taking action and being seen and sharing our story and being vulnerable, all of this stuff is getting triggered, okay? So it's really important to have this awareness. Scrolling Facebook, checking emails, doing the washing. So you're a doer, a procrastinator. I'll attract my husband needing me to move a machine. Okay. Okay, good to know. So Kate, tell me, when you're doing all of that, are you flooding your body? Are you coming up into your head? Not really. Like, are you disconnecting from your body? When we're do, very busy work, is that because you are not in your body, or is it because of something else? Tell me, let me know if that's a habit, if that's a pattern for you. So I'm going to do some tapping with you guys, because when we're working with energetic stuff, it's very powerful to do mind-body tools, to use a mind-body tool to shift, all right? So one of the tools that I use is tapping. I have loads of other tools that I use, but I love tapping, and it's one that when you learn how to do it, when you feel comfortable with it, you can actually do it on the fly. So you're feeling that procrastination, you're feeling that scrolling, and you can take this tool, you can take 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and you can tap and then check in, and often that's enough to shift it, okay? Let's make sure there's no more. Yes, I'm generally in my head. Okay, so for you then, it's about grounding down into your body, grounding back down into that base chakra. The base chakra is where we manifest, okay? This is where we manifest into the world. And so if we're not in our base chakra, grounded down into the earth, you know, it's comfortable to be in my body, it's safe to be here, I belong in the earth, I belong in this family, all of those things. If we're not feeling any of that, then the energetics of our base chakra is out, and it means we're going to have a really hard time to actually, you know, bring an idea down and manifest it in the world. So let me know if you resonate with that. All right. I'll just give a couple more minutes if there's anybody who, or a few more seconds if there's anyone who wants to put in a comment. But, you know, this is how we become powerful, right? This is how we become powerful in business. This is how we start to make more money, when we understand, you know, what is being triggered when we think about charging more, when we think about taking action, when we actually do, you know, what is being triggered subconsciously and energetically. And this is where I always start with my people, with my clients, because, you know, we can jump right into the strategy, but if your energetics and your mindset is out, you can have the best strategy in the world, but you're going to cycle back into resistance. You're going to cycle back into self-doubt. You're going to cycle back into perfectionism, or whatever it is, your particular brand of resistance. Okay, yes, it resonates. Interesting, huh? All right, so let me know if there's anyone who hasn't done tapping before. I'll just quickly show you the points, okay? So we're tapping literally on points on our body. So the first one is where the eyebrow hair meets the skin here. So we're tapping lightly, not too hard, 4 or 5 times. And then the second is here, the side of the eye, and then underneath the iris, and then underneath the nose, and then the top of the chin. So if you're really feeling any resistance to this, you know, I don't want to do the tapping, do the tapping, all right? I encourage you. If you're feeling any resistance in general at the moment, do the tapping. So you're going to do it with me, okay? And the bra strap here, sorry, the collarbone points, the bra strap, and then the top of the head. And then I like to swap to the other side just so I feel nice and balanced, but it's up to you. So I'm going to be saying a line, all right? First of all, before we do this, what I want to invite you to do is take a breath and close your eyes, okay? And just, if you're in your head, maybe put your hand on your heart, one hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy, and just cue your body to come, cue your mind, your energy to drop down into your body. And I want you to take a big deep breath, and I want you to tune in on a scale of 1 to 10 to these questions, okay? So 10 out of 10 is yes, absolutely true. So the first one, I'm not getting anything important done. I'm not getting the most important things done. I'm spinning my wheels. I'm doing busy work. I am procrastinating. And if you've got like a 7 or more, then do the tapping and come back and listen over to it. Do the tapping over until you feel like it's starting to reduce that charge. So now one more thing, I want you to bring to mind some of the goals that you're working on, some of the big goals that you're working on, building your business, 10K months, signing more clients, whatever it is. And once again, notice, where does it feel overwhelming? Does it feel overwhelming? Do you have any sense of, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to get started or where to get started. It's going to be hard. Just notice when you think about your goals that you're working on, what comes up for you. And I invite you to type into the box. Let me know what comes up for you as you tune into the goals that you're working on. Okay, this is where people talk about doing affirmations until, you know, your blocks are gone, and it's bullshit. That doesn't work, okay? Because it's like we're just overriding what's happening at a subconscious level and what's happening at an energetic level. But if when you tune into your goals, you feel a sense of it, like overwhelm, a sense of it's not going to happen, or it's impossible, or I can't do that, or it's going to be really hard, then no wonder we cycle into resistance. No wonder we cycle back into overwhelm. And I want you to just take a moment to be really compassionate with yourself, okay? Because this has been stacked against you unconsciously, all right? So no negative self-talk here, okay? This is about awareness, and awareness is key. If we're going to shift this, we need to bring awareness in, all right? Okay, so let's get started. And we're going to tap around difficulty taking action and being seen, getting started, okay? So I'm going to say a line, and then you're going to repeat a line. I'm really having trouble getting started. I'm overwhelmed. I'm either zoning out, or I'm busy doing. Scrolling on social media. Cleaning. I hate cleaning. But it's better than doing the things that I'm resisting right now. This is distraction, and I'm not getting the most important things done. I do feel a little bit better now that Tash has said this happens to lots of people, but I just need to get more done. And I'm just going to honor that. I'm spinning in my mind state. There's anxiety running through my system, and I'm hardly even aware of it. There's anxiety blasting through my system. My body is filled with nervous energy, and I'm not getting the most important things done. I'm hardly even aware of it because I'm not in my body. I'm up in my head because there's a lot to think about. Thinking. And then I stop to criticize myself. I should be getting more done. Thinking, thinking, thinking. Spinning and thinking. And it's okay. I'm taking on a lot. I've got some big goals at the moment. And I'm open to coming down into my body and looking at my goals and the very next things I have to do. Just the very next thing I have to do. And I'm open to being solid about that. Getting started. I'm open to being solid. Solid in my body. So that I can see a chunk of progress that feels solid. So then I can celebrate this solid chunk of progress with each step I take. Okay, take a breath. Close your eyes. I want you just to tune into your body. Just notice, how does it feel? You will feel a release of energy. Often it feels like there's electric currents. And notice, is your mind a bit quieter? Can you feel present and grounded in your body? In this state, we're often more strategic and solid. We're able to think clearly because we're grounded. We're not like a balloon that's being, helium balloon that's been drifted up into the sky. We are grounded in the earth. We are solid in our mind, in our body. We are quiet. We are not spinning in thought. And this is where we can really take the next step, okay? So when we're feeling overwhelmed, when we're feeling like we're in procrastination, often our lens is too broad and we need to bring it right in. What's the next step? So once we've done that tapping and we've shifted this from our system, we're then able to think and go, okay, this is what I'm working on. What's the next step I need to take me there? So I'd love to hear from you guys. Kate, calm, less mind chatter. Beautiful. Okay, and that was like 5 minutes of tapping, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I'll put this script, I'll send it up, I'll pretty it up and I'll pop it into the group. So if you're feeling this resistance at any time, if you're feeling, any of the resistance that we've spoken about, this will be a really good script, especially if you're spinning in your head, because that's what we really narrowed in on. But if you're spinning in your head, you're not connected in your body, you've got all this big to-do list and you're not getting the things done that you want to do, you can come back to this script, okay? This is going to really help you. And the other important thing to say as well is that it's so important for us to celebrate progress, for us to celebrate that we're taking even one step forward every day. If you take one step forward every single day in your business, you will see amazing results. It's consistency and it's focus and the ability to step out of your resistance patterns, to know what they are, to recognize them and to step out of them, to come back into your body. Okay? Alrighty, so that's pretty much it for today, guys. This is a taste of what we're covering in Business Alchemy Mastermind. This is the first 4 to 6 weeks is what we're focusing on, mindset and energetics. So we're going to be doing a lot of this kind of work, a lot of these processes. I've got 3 spots left. If one of them is yours, let me know. Alrighty, everyone, take care. Bye.